actually have been here. I just didn't realize it. Second time. Happy to make it fun here, though.
Wait, I've been here. I'm still here.
It's always weird when you've been somewhere before and you don't realize it.
Hello.
Hi, Punch. Vivek
Yeah,
joined.
hi.
Hi, Manchester. This is Subhash.
Hey, all, just wanted to confirm, did you sign the Google form, everybody?
Yep.
Please, who
Yes.
didn't sign, I request you to sign it so that I get a details of what is you want and how many of you, which day. I will have a good actually answer so that we can schedule. I think I got a good number of people responded that they want Sunday and Wednesday rather than Thursday. So I'm considering to put that into Wednesday rather than Thursday. So it helps me to understand what you really need. So I'll request you if you can just respond without fail. In fact, I do have it right now. 32 people responded. Almost everybody said that they want Sunday, 97%, and 60% said they want Wednesday. 50% Thursday. Oh, Thursday spelling wrong. So Wednesday, 60% people. So I'm considering to change our classes to Wednesday. Main intention is improving knowledge, 70%. Good. And I do see almost 87% and 81% both cloud computing and DevOps. So equally good. Still, I'm expecting 15 people to respond, like waiting 15 responses. Okay, 13. 12 actually. 3 email IDs are invalid. So at least I'm expecting 12 more people to respond. Okay, they may not join, but at least I am expecting today 32 people because they have responded. So 32 people to join. Let's see how many are joining. 19 still, like we're expecting at least 10 more. We'll give you 2 minutes more.
Hi, Arvind here.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Panchaleshwar. Good evening, this is Raja.
Yeah, hi, Raja.
Sorry for joining it late, man.
No, that's okay. I'll just come quickly. Can you mute, please? Okay, so 676. 24 joined. Okay, we'll start in just maybe 2 minutes. But we're starting almost 7:10 every day. So I'll ask everybody to join maybe a bit early. 24 participants, okay. Somebody responded now, 33 respondent.
Hey, Panchaleshwar, this is Raja. Your video is completely struck, Panchaleshwar, and it shows a low bandwidth. I'm not sure whether I'm only facing this problem.
Is it okay now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
it's better.
better.
Much better.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. So without almost 7, 8, let's start. So I think 24, nobody is going to join. Thank you. Thank you again for joining. My voice is clear? Just to check.
Yeah, it is clear.
It's clear.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wearing this because my front camera is not picking my voice clearly. So I thought this will make it more clear. Great. So today's agenda I have already sent, and the main intention of today's session is just to make you comfortable. Last two sessions, we have seen that we jumped into cloud, almost did hands-on stuffs, but I just wanted to give you a good overview of how to access the environment and how to work with the cloud. I know many of you would have struggled to understand. Many of you obviously are not Linux guys, or you may not be aware of command prompt or something like that. May not be technical enough, but that's fine. I didn't expect you to completely execute all those steps, whatever I said. But today, I'll help you out just to have your systems ready, first of all, because that is what basic need. That is one of the prime requirement, that at least you should have the basic computer setup and basic tools established and basic very much you should have all the basics configured, right? Without that you cannot work. So because we are going to learn DevOps also, so I expect that you should have a base underlying base system should be ready with the operating system requirement, as well as the software requirement and the network requirement. So in that way, that is my first part of the agenda. Second part will, if time permits, then obviously we'll go to the storage aspect of the cloud. Slowly, I'll go step by step with little easier to understand and the grasp, so that we go one step at a time. So I just wanted to understand first, how many of you really able to do whatever I did last time in your home? How many? Can you, maybe if you can raise your hand. Raise your hand in the Zoom, please. I see Asit raised his hand. Anybody else who could just do and access the, somebody written something in chat, I could do it all. Vivek Agrawal, okay, good. Anybody else, please just raise your hand so that I can see. 4, Samir, Dilip, Anup. Nice, and thank you for trying at least, and you could do it. So,
Hey, Panchaleshu, this is Raja. Sorry, I don't know, for some reason I'm not able to raise this hand over here. I was able to get things
okay,
done.
so I could, Vivek did, Falak did, M. Mahapatra did, Senthil Kumar can do it all. Yes, Sangeeta, halfway done. Okay. Okay, I believe good number of people could do it. That means your system is, I think, you, and how many of really you tried the CLI? Who could do CLI? Vivek did. Anybody else? Please respond. CLI. Just respond with CLI one, that I'll understand. Okay, now Vivek did a thumbs up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay.
This is Madhu. I could do it.
Madhu, okay. So can you chat, everyone? Can you write on the chat? Still, I'm getting familiar actually with Zoom. So I'll have more options possibly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people could do it with CLI. Okay. Others, I believe you tried. If you have not tried, then okay. 6 participants raised the hand. It is showing me. What about others? Can you please tell me who could not do it? Who tried the CLI and who could not do it one by one, please? Just write, type it, please. Who could not do with CLI? Who could not do anything with CLI, or who could not achieve the required output with CLI? Please type. Just didn't work. DW. Just type DW. Didn't work. So that I'll come to know who tried and for whom it didn't work. Just write 2 letters. D work. Didn't work. Did work. Didn't. So D and W maybe. D and W. Subhas, this is my first session today. Okay. Sahu, Prem Sahu. Okay, didn't work. Khushbu didn't work. Okay. DW Khushbu. Okay. DNW. Okay, didn't work. Aravind didn't work. Okay. Anybody else, please? Didn't work? Please. I want to have the base system ready today so that we'll not have issues henceforth. Because we'll not conduct this class again in future. So because I am to ensure that everybody, you're comfortable with your base system, so that we'll not waste more time in debugging your system. Right? So last time many of you asked, so that I thought let's have the base system ready today. Please type who tried it, who you didn't get it. Didn't tried CLI, Sobhagya, okay. Sobhagya, I saw last time you didn't join.
Watching the YouTube video and trying to do. I just reached till the instance created, not after
Okay.
that.
Okay, at least, okay, who didn't join, please try the YouTube. And if you can, you cannot do it, just send me and maybe you can write a, maybe something on the YouTube you can write as a comment, or you can write me as well. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, fine. So at least a good number of people didn't work. Khushbu, Aravind, Sahu. So what problem you faced, Khushbu? Can you please tell? Unmute yourself and please tell, Khushbu, what problem you faced? I didn't get any response from you, Khushbu. Okay, Aravind, any problem you faced? Please explain.
Last time I followed up your class session and I was on the command prompt and I was not able to log in on that server. So like in the CLI.
Oh, you could not log in. Okay.
Yeah.
Sahu, Sisir Sahu, what problem you faced?
Personal laptops, but I was halfway through. I couldn't do beyond that.
Okay.
Because my last session was in my company's laptop, so it doesn't allow any download. So when
Today, are you using your personal laptop or company laptop?
No, today again, because I couldn't install everything in the personal laptop yet, so that's why I'm just learning it in a laptop.
Okay, so now let's do one thing. How many of you are good at Linux? Please just hands up. Who are all 6 participants again raised hand? Who are all good with Linux operating system? Good in the sense at least you can work. I'm not expecting you to be administrator level, but at least you are able to work with Linux system. 6. Asit, Anup, Vivek, Manas, Falak. Okay. Others, I don't expect you to be good at Linux system. That's fine, actually. 5 participants again. Why? Okay. Okay, good. So That's why today, first of all, we are going today is create a Windows system. Let's see if you can at least access it. Okay. First, okay, because who didn't try to get into CLI, I just want to ask another question. Did you able to create your security key and access key?
Yes,
Yes.
I created security.
Just who tried? You created and you tried, right?
Yes.
And you got it. Like, okay. So anybody didn't get the security key and access key, the key, and
Yeah.
Anybody could not create it?
Yeah, hi. This is Herschel, actually. I'm sorry, I was trying to speak, but there was some problem on my computer when you asked a question. Kushbu, actually, I'm using my wife's laptop. Sorry about it.
Okay.
I tried to create the security key, but it wasn't working last time. And then I was having the issue with the CLI. So I installed the CLI, and it was showing me path variable issue. I was trying to Google it, like, after the session, and I was trying to fix it. And somehow my machine just crashed. So that's why I'm using a different machine.
Okay, so did you try to create the key and you got the key? You downloaded the key?
No, I did not get the key actually.
Where is the issue? Just let me log in and let me share my screen so you can please tell me. Bear with me. We'll just do some of, because I want to bring everybody to the same level before we move forward. Okay, so that nobody we miss behind. Share the screen.
Okay, so you want me to share my screen, right?
No, I'm sharing my screen and so that everybody can see it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll log in as my root user this time so that you can follow me. Let me log in first, please. Then I'll. Okay. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes.
Okay. So here, I am a root user now. With this is my account, and I'm root user. So I am right. So here, access keys. I have it. Hopefully you went here, right? Access management. If you go to IAM here, access management, and here, security credentials, right? And here the access key and create a new access key. I didn't create, but you should able to create. Did you follow here only? Khushbu?
Yes.
And why you could not create?
I'm sorry, I think I misunderstood your part. So I'm able to download the key file now.
Okay.
It's downloading the CSV file, right?
So here, once you create it, download the key file, right?
Yes.
And you save it, please. Okay.
Yep.
So let me do it first. Let me download it. Let me first delete. Root key, okay. Now, this is downloaded here, right?
Yep.
No. Go to the CMD. Did you install the CLI first? AWS CLI? Can you execute this if it's AWS and see the output, please? Can you share your screen?
Sure.
I'll stop sharing. Share your screen.
Sharing my screen.
Yep.
Yep. Can you see my screen?
No, I can't. Anybody can see his screen?
No.
Yeah, it's coming now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a bit slow.
Okay. Can you type AWS? Enter. Okay, that means it's installed now. Write AWS configure. AWS space configure. Enter. Okay. Now open your access key file. Root key, I think. Here, the root key one.
I need to put the path first, right?
No, here, root key. Can you open the file? Root key here, I do see.
Oh,
Open
okay,
it.
sorry. Yep. Sorry. I thought you wanted to ask me.
Yeah,
sorry.
the AWS access, that one, and copy it completely.
Just only up to this?
No, hold it, please. It's not, okay. Just actually have, okay, fine. Just, yep, up to equal sign, from equal sign to end.
Okay.
Yep. Copy it. Paste it. Why root? There is again.
Yes.
Enter.
Okay.
And now take the access key. From again, the same thing. G is missing. G is missing. Please don't be hurry.
Okay. Sorry.
Properly. Again, G is missing.
Yep.
Enter. Okay, which region you are in? Where
Chicago.
you're from?
I'm in New Jersey.
Okay,
New Jersey,
you can anyone you can give. US East 1 maybe. US hyphen. Small please. Small letters. Hyphen East. No. US hyphen East. You cannot write like this the way you want. US hyphen East.
Okay. Hyphen meaning this one, right?
That is a no.
Dash. Dash.
Yeah, remove the one. Why you are writing one? I don't understand. I said US hyphen East hyphen 1.
Okay. East hyphen 1. Right? Is this correct?
Okay. Json, JSON. Yes, enter. Okay. Can you write now AWS Okay, no, AWS, just write, just to test, space, S3, 3, space, LS, just to test, LS, list, LS for Sam,
Oh, sorry.
enter.
LS, that's it.
Okay, so that means it's going, nothing is there, that's fine. So it is now communicating, okay? Or you can write AWS EC2 and all those commands also. Okay, fine. So that's all actually. Anybody has any trouble from like executing this? Anybody else? This is pretty simple. Okay, please, I'll take back control.
AWS S3LS, this time it gives me that it could not connect to the endpoint URL.
Who?
It's for me, it's Vivek. I just tried AWS S3LS. I did the configuration.
Okay, we will do that. Just added to confirm because we are going to execute today this command. So let's not. I just wanted to show that what is S3. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Okay. So what is my screen? Something is missing. Did I close something? Stop setting. I closed some of the things. I don't know. Sorry, my screen. Can you see my screen now? The browser?
No.
Not
No.
yet.
No.
Something is wrong. So, when I share the screen, it is going like, okay, now I got it. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody else, please, just before we move forward, anybody else want you want my help in just configuring your system?
I just followed the same thing, whatever you was doing with the root key and the AWS S3LS. It's all working fine.
Okay. Okay. Now, anybody else? Just please, so that we don't come back here, we want to spend sufficient time at least figuring out and debugging your system or anything you want. If you want any help, please raise your hand because I will not be able to do later. That's the reason I thought I'll spend sufficient amount of times.
Yeah, Panchalesha, this is Raja. The only thing which I face problem is the HTML file, right? I was not able to paste it in the control prompt. So other than that, the rest of things has been.
No, that's right. That was a demo. I just
the rest of things are
did
fine.
it.
Yeah, the rest of things are fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine. Should I move then?
Yep.
Sure.
With
Yes.
S3? Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's good. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one actually I'm going to share today. End of our session. I'm going to share this so that you can do it. Okay. Where you asked where you could not copy your HTML file. So what I did is I actually got it from here. This is open source from w3schools.com. Okay. You can get it from here. I'll share it. Okay. And we have seen this one last time. Okay, let's go to the storage. Okay. So anybody aware of S3? Raise your hand, please.
This is Madhu. I don't know.
S3, anybody aware of? Why it is called S3? So 3S, simple storage service. SSS, that's why S3. So it is a simple storage. It's of course, as it named, very simple to use and very simple to just upload and download any data. And it is very secured and very stable and very highly available, as well as very much durable data. Like you can have a lot of like any highly durable data you can store. Okay. So basically it is an object store. So here I'm going to explain today about two kinds of storage. If possible, if time permits, I believe it will permit because we finished the system stuffs very quickly. So I'm going to tell about the object storage. Another is the volume. Okay. So what is the difference between these two is I'm going to, this one is one. So here, block storage and object storage. These are the two storage we're going to discuss today. Anybody is from storage background? Just raise your hand, please. Anybody is from storage background? Anybody? Just at least storage background. Raise your hand, please. No? It will be easier to follow because though it is very simple, but at least I wanted to understand what is the philosophy behind object storage and volume storage. Okay. Or block storage. So let's go back to here, object storage. Object storage, you can see that they are very simple to any kind of object you can upload to this kind of storage. There are different kind of storage available in cloud. One of them is object storage, where you can put any kind of data. It won't recognize what you are uploading, but you can upload just any kind of file, and without understanding what it is, it will just store it. Okay, bit by bit or byte by byte. So it is just an object, and you can upload these objects as files. You can upload any, whether GIF file, JPEG, any kind of video file, you can text file, data file, and any kind of data. Users can upload it, and it will not try to understand what kind of file it is or what kind of data it is. Without understanding, it will just try to store it, so that any application can use it. Either you can upload, you can download, you can use. Just is a simple plain storage. Like okay, in your system, can you see my system here? Can you see my system?
No.
Possibly I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, I'll not say that. So in your computer, you have C drive, D drive, E drive, and all, right? What do you think those storage are? Those storage are hard disks, right? So do you think those are object storage? Anybody who thinks it is yes, Can you please tell, or no? Who are all telling no and yes? Type it, please. What those stories are. Just wanted to check. I don't know, when I share my screen, it does not give me the chart window. I don't know why.
You will get, just take the mouse below your screen.
No,
You
I
will
do
get
that.
it. No. Okay.
I do see the participants, but the chart window is not visible to me. So I don't know why. More. No, I don't see the chart window.
Sorry, Panchlesh, I just got disconnected. Is there any question that has been asked where the
No,
response
okay.
going?
So I just asked a question in your system. What is the C drive, D drive, E drive? What they are? What kind of storage they are? They are object storage or block storage. Let me tell you, they are object storage or block storage.
It should be object storage because I just have only C drive alone in my
Okay.
laptop.
By the way, they are just for your information, they are not object storage, they are block storage. Okay.
Okay.
So they are not object storage because some other like Windows has defined them that kind of NTFS file system, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Windows.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a file system where you are storing file. So it is not a kind of storage where you can dump any kind of data and just forget it. If you open here, just to share my screen again, I want to share my screen now so that you can see the storage. Can you see my storage now?
Yep.
Okay, so you see these are all different drives, C, D, E, F, G, H. I have around 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7 terabyte of storage I have in my system. Okay, so these are all block storage actually. It is not. So these are all actually NTFS file systems where Windows has been defined them as, it is formatted as NTFS. Whereas object storage are different kind of storage. You don't need to just format them. They are different kind of storage you have to create. So for the time being, object storage is nothing but just a storage just to upload and retrieve data. And they are storage in a bucket. So the folders are called buckets. They're not called folders or directories. They're simple called buckets. And in the bucket, you can put any kind of data. Okay, so that's object storage. And objects, it can be stored any file, just any kind of file. Upload a file, retrieve the file, delete the file, and the file size can be from just a 0 byte to 5 terabytes. Okay, and let's see now, because I just said how I already saw you. Can you log in please to your console? All of you. So go to the storage here. When you go to the services, you can see here storage S3.
Okay.
Now, I have already some buckets. You see, these are the buckets. Like we in Windows system, we have called folders. Here, these are all called buckets. So you can create a bucket here. And this bucket should be very unique. Remember one thing, because they are all on the cloud. So it should have a very unique name worldwide. It is not just to your region. It should have a unique name worldwide. That means maybe like your name, your email ID is a unique name worldwide or unique identity. So here, this bucket name should have a unique name. It should not match with some others bucket name. So maybe you can write your name hyphen something and 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth, so that it becomes unique. Okay.
So it should be unique throughout worldwide on
yes,
AWS.
worldwide. Yes. Can you create? So like if you see, I have created pnaik-test-bucket. This is your unique name. So you can try. If it does not accept, that means it is not unique. Let me create another one. pnaik test2 demo. And block all public access. Yes, now create the bucket. Yes, it's accepted. So this is also unique name worldwide, and it's not public. I can make it publicly accessible actually, so that if you want everybody should have access, you can actually make it publicly accessible too. Permissions, access points, and so on and so forth. So we'll see those later. Like you can go and edit, and you can just leave it and save. Updating block access will affect the bucket. Okay, confirm. Now public access settings updated successfully. So now it is publicly accessible. Objects can be public. You see here, right? Objects can be public.
What exactly we need to do for that?
Okay, so I'll delete it again. Let's see. Delete.
Okay, object can be public.
Okay, I'll create a bucket, and again, pnaik demo Sunday. So even if while creating, if I just remove it, it will become public. I acknowledge that the current setting may result bucket and object within the becoming public. Create public. Okay, you got it? And now you can see this is, go and click it here, pnaik test bucket. And here you just can upload anything from your system. After creating it, go to upload. If you see it left side, upload and add file, and you can upload anything from your local system. It will be uploaded, and it will be obviously access to the public. If you want to share with public and friends or so on and so forth, then you can make it public, and you can give a, let's see, I just wanted to tell a simple test file. What I'll do is I'll create a text file, notepad.
Is there any way once we make it private, then can we convert to public?
Yes, this is a file. Public file. So let's do it here, add file, and it is in my desktop. Public file.txt. Next, and upload. You see this is uploaded. So now if I go here, make it public, it's already, you can file wise, you can make it public. And now object URL. If I type it here, let's copy it, copy link, and I'm typing in the chat again window. Where is the chat window again? So let me stop the sharing. Possibly I'll get the chat window. Yep. Okay. In the chart window, I have typed, I just copy pasted it. So can you just see if you can download my file?
We can just see the file with the content.
Yeah, that means you are able to download. You can save it because it is a text file. The browser is
okay.
directly just showing it, the
Yeah.
content, because it's a simple text file, right?
Yes.
So you can download it. You can just right click and save as. So that means it's
Okay, but
now
I'm sorry, Arvind here.
Yeah.
I
Now,
just created the bucket, but it still shows as a not public. I would like to change it to
yeah.
public.
Now let's make it like. See, you can download also. You can just go to and like here. Okay, just to show you what it is. If I click here, my screen also just it's showing, right? Right click, save as. It's same.
Got it. Okay.
Without the access, you cannot see even if.
Yeah.
Okay. So or download as simple. Here you can write it. So let's see now. Let's make it private. Okay. Access permission. Let's see. I want to keep the permission and I want to edit, block all public access and save. Right. And also file wise also I'll make this one action. Okay, I think it is already, it is private. So can you access it the same now? Can you please check it? Just click the same link again.
Access denied.
Access denied.
Okay. So you can make like that public or private. And you can, even if you want to give permission to particular another account, AWS account, you can give access also. And we'll talk that a bit little later when we will talk about the IAM policies, okay? Accessibility management policies, how to create special access and assign to different accounts. We'll see that later once you go a bit deeper, okay? So this is about a simple S3 and you see there are various properties and okay, let's do one thing. Let's also practice the right side commands here. How to access the same thing, whatever you saw it here, using command prompt as well. Okay, so go to command CMD and write AWS S3, maybe ls. You can see here, I have 3 buckets. Whatever I see it here, right? Same thing. Do you see that? Do you see my command prompt?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here, if you want to see what is actually, okay, there are different commands. Just practice. This is ls, and if you want to see also how to create a bucket is this one. Okay. This is the way you should create it.
Oh, you meant to say that we can directly create the bucket in the command prompt itself?
Yes. So this is what it is.
Okay.
S3 MB. Okay. Make bucket MB. And S3 colon / pnac text bucket maybe 1. It will be another. Okay. If I execute this, it is successfully create. And you see here, I just refresh. It is created.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is the way you can create with the CLI also. And
just a quick question, Panchaleshwar. Sorry. So when we create the bucket itself here, is there any way in the command prompt we can have the private and public access?
Yeah, of course. That's why I'm telling. Those are all like policies you have to touch. I didn't want to give them the complexity of the, you know,
okay,
make it complex. So just wanted to introduce you so that you yourself
can
slowly get like familiar to the commands slowly. And once we go to IAM, that is the accessibility management, okay, how to create policies, then I like actually introduce those. That's why if you go to IAM here, okay, identity and access management, when you will talk about the roles, okay, roles and policies, how to create policies so that you can, in the policy, you can give access, who can access to those files, who cannot. Okay.
Sure.
And once you create policies, how to attach those policies using AWS command. Okay. Those are all will be required. Policies will be required to have those kind of things. That's why I'm not purposefully, I'm not introducing you those complex things from the command prompt, so that you become first. If I just put everything into you, you will not like, okay, you'll feel that, okay, how it's very difficult. I am just giving you so that slowly we'll go step by step. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Because many of them are like, there is a fear from normally among Windows users about the command prompt. There is a fear always. I know that. So I don't want to kind of give every command so that you do everything with command prompt. Okay. And these are the list of objects, and you can see, and this is another thing I just wanted to tell that, okay, so now tell me here, you are just seeing what is the buckets, how to see what are the contents of the buckets. Okay, there is a command called see here, same ls, and this will give, right, ls, AWS S3 and ls, right? If you just give, it will give all the buckets. But if you give the name, like here, copy it and give a slash. Let's see.
No, that
okay.
A is missing. A is missing in AWS.
You see here, even if you see
in
here,
the comment.
okay. And if you give here network, because it is there in network, you see Terraform TF state, right? Inside that, if you see that S3, network is there. Inside network, Terraform TF state is there, right? You see here. So then if you want to see everything at a time and you want a JSON format output, this is the one you should follow actually. S3 API. So you are directly accessing the API instead of the AWS command. So this is will give you, if you see here, what is the output you get is completely a JSON output. You see here, keys, network, and Terraform TF state. Okay, size and everything. So this is the directly accessing the APIs using AWS command, and you are accessing the S3 API, and you are using the command called list objects in the bucket, this one. So these are the, just to introduce you some of the commands, and slowly will, so that once you become familiar and try yourself some of your commands and become familiar, then we'll go a bit more details. And finally, maybe I'll introduce you to Terraform also. That's why I have it. Terraform, just to introduce, Terraform is a automation script or automation tool, which is from HashiCorp. If you just see, infrastructure as code. Okay, so this is a Terraform is from, and which is pretty much hot in the market today. Everybody is asking Terraform's knowledge. Okay, cloud, so that you can actually write Terraform scripts to create the whole infrastructure rather than doing click, click, click. Nobody's asking you should be familiar with the console. Everybody's asking today to write Terraform scripts, okay, to write and create the code, to write Terraform scripts to create the code. And in fact, all the DevOps tools, I'll introduce you that slowly. Once we go to DevOps, I'll expect also you to know the Terraform, and we'll execute Terraform scripts from our pipeline to create the infrastructure. That is called infrastructure as code, by the way. Okay. So just to introduce, I didn't want to divert to there, but just thought of introducing what is Terraform. Okay. But okay, coming back to our slide, this is all about S3. And what are the different storage classes are there in S3? These are the very theoretical stuffs, but you should be aware of. And when you want to be an architect kind of thing, you should know what are the different types of storage class available on the cloud, or rather Amazon cloud, like S3 standard. And what do you mean by S3 storage class? That means if you see here, whatever we created, actually, they are standard class, okay? S3 standard. That means these are the highly durable, available, and performance-oriented object storage for frequently accessed data, okay? And we expect them to frequently access those data, but because these are also costly, the cost of storing data with S3 standard is the highest than any other, okay? So these are the different kind of storage available still. Suppose we want to store some data and they are all not frequently accessed, like we don't need them to access frequently, maybe once in a week, once in a month, once in a year, something like that. Based on that, these storage classes are available. If you see here, that's what it is telling. And I'll come back to this one at the last, but let's call IA, infrequently accessible. S3 standard, but it is not frequently accessed. So this is still price is a bit lower than the standard, because it is expected that you are not supposed to access very frequently. Then based on that, this storage class is designed at the AWS cloud so that it will be a bit cheaper than the standard actually. That means, and again, normally this standard, S3 standard and S3 standard IA, that is infrequently accessed data, is always highly available. That means they will be equally stored a copy of your data in at least 3 availability zones. I'll tell you what is the availability zone. Availability, first of all, we have reasons, right? Like we just said that, I'll come back here. Let me stop sharing. So here, I have to talk to you directly so that you can see me. Reasons are, as I said in the first lecture, I think, US East, US West, and in East itself, we have 2, West also we have 2. Those are all physical data centers, right, of AWS. And we have in Mumbai, we have in Singapore, Hong Kong. Those are the physical data centers. But then what is availability zone? Availability zones are nothing but, they are also physical data centers, but they are inside in one region. That means in one region itself, again, there are multiple data centers. So that they are very close to each other, maybe in one campus, so that they share a very highly available network normally, and very highly the network pipe between those available zones or physical data centers are huge. That means there is absolutely no delay between those 2 data centers in one region. Those are all physical data centers, but normally present in one region or one campus, okay? And so to make it that if one data center goes down due to any reason, another data center can have the same copy, whatever we have that, and can be used for giving the same service without disrupting any normal operation of customers, applications, or data. So in a standard, S3 standard is normally at a time, whenever you upload this file, because we just uploaded a public file, right? Whenever you upload those S3 files, normally they are equally distributed in minimum of 3 availability zones. That means at least 3 copies of data in 3 different data centers are present. That means if one data center goes down, there are still 2 more data center they have copy, so that it is not affected. Your availability is not affected. If a 2 data center goes down, still 1 more is still there. So that's why it is called very highly available and durable data storage. And it is costly. Obviously, the cost of storing the data is high. That's why here, when I said, let me show again. Here, infrequently access, okay, one zone infrequent access, like here, it is actually available in one zone only, not 3 zones. That's why you see here, the cost 20% less than the S3 standard IA. The cost of utilizing this service, Amazon S3 one zone, if infrequent access, is at least 20% less than the S3 standard IA. And similarly here, S3 Glacier, okay, is actually used for archival, where we know that hardly there will be any accessibility. Okay, like we don't need it just for log data, or maybe some customer data for government, purpose, that or email data. Employee left the company just for compliance reason. We want to store his data for next 3 years maybe, and nobody will access them. But who knows that whenever there will be audit, it may be accessed. So that we know that they will not be accessed unless there is a requirement. So those are kind of storage where we know that they will not be accessed, maybe in 3 years also, then may not be accessed, right? Or if there is a audit, or there is mainly for compliance reasons, right? So those are archival data. And here is a deep archive. There is another low cost storage is, this is the lowest cost in among all the storage. S3 Glacier Deep Archive date, actually, it's the lowest, Amazon's lowest cost storage class, and supports long-term retention, digital preservation for data that may be accessed once or twice in a year, may or may not. So this is just for all the government files. Indian government have maybe a lot of maps nowadays. They're converting into digital files. Who knows, they may not be accessed by anybody also in their life. So those kind of archival, okay, are normally goes to this kind of storage, so that they're cheaper also. But so that this is actually okay. Now I come back to intelligent tiering. That's why I asked who knows the storage. There are 3 types of data normally: hot data, warm data, and cold data. So hot data is something which is very recently used. Okay, like I have my OneDrive and iCloud Drive here. If you see, I think you cannot see because I'm not sharing. So we have all cloud storage, OneDrive, iCloud Drive we are using, right? Every day there will be some data will be uploaded or maybe downloaded. So those are all hot data. That means very frequently accessed data, and every day may be updated data. So they are hot. And there are cold data. Warm data. Hot, warm, and cold. So warm is something maybe 1 month back, you might have seen some companies, they give that at a time in your email, you can see 1 month email. After 1 month, you cannot, if you want to access maybe 3 months, based on your policy, 1 year or 3 months. So they define the policy differently. So some company, they provide that after 3 months, if you want to access your email data, you have to put a special request. So that means they define this way that 1 month data is hot data. That means anytime you want to access, you can access. After 1 month, they go to a data called storage layer that is called warm data. That means they are just, if you click on some of your more than 1 month old email, it will take some time. You might have observed it takes at least 1 or 2 minutes to download that email and to get displayed. Those are all warm data because those data are moved after 1 month old. They move to another layer of storage, something like S3 standard IA, right? Then after some 3 months, they are considered as cold. That means they are not accessed. So they go to some maybe a archival type of data layer. So here, this particular storage is XS3 is called intelligent tiering. Is a here, though it is it will be the client to the client. It will be visible as one layer, but in the back end, the cloud will take care of automation of that data movement. That means nobody is doing anything for the client. There is absolutely no difference, but you have to just set it off such that you have your own policy, how you want to define your hot data, warm data, and cold data, right? That will be depends on your own policy or company policy. So that type of, it's called tiering of data, different tier. Okay, so intelligent tiering store class is designed to optimize the cost. So that, because if your company having a lot of money, obviously you can put everything in hot data or everything on S3 standard. That means everybody can access any type of data all the time without delay. But which will then storage cost will be very, very high. Rather than putting everything on storage, you put in a intelligent tiering storage so that the intelligence behind takes care of which data. Actually, it will tell that if after 1 month also, suppose you accessed a old email, then that particular email will be moved to a hot layer data, so that because it is recently accessed, so that after 1 month again it go back to the warm data layer. So these are the intelligent tierings done by the system, and based on that they will give you the cost to you. That's why these are the different storage class. As you go on learning, you will have more knowledge on those. Okay, and this is what it is, performance based on different storage layers. This is available in AWS website also. I just copy pasted it here, and this is pretty much available on the AWS website. And if you want to see the pricing of, I have given a link here, awsamazon.com/s3/pricing. What is the price of each layer? And what is, you see durability, 99.999, 11 nines. You see, so that's S3. Of course, every type of storage layer is highly durable. That means your data is never going to be lost, almost never going to be lost once you upload. Rest assured, 11 nines. Almost 100%. That means they just won't go anywhere. And design availability, if you see here, the one zone is 99.5 here because it's single zone. All others, if you see, 99.9, but here it is 99.5. And so on and so forth. If you see here, this is, and the retrieval fee also attached and minimum. So these are the some of the policies they put into different type of storage. Any doubt?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk about the Elastic Block Store, EBS volume. Okay. Going back, here, go to services and storage again. Okay. No, here it is not storage, but let's go to EC2. So when you're running instance, let's see once more. So you will come to know what is. Once more, I'll launch an instance.
Panch, I think you're not sharing that screen.
Oh, okay. You see it now? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay. So here, I go to again compute. I didn't go to storage. I go to compute. Okay, just who already tried it, I just want to know when you, I'll now you have to answer. I need some answer from you when I ask a question. If you have understood correctly, Amazon Linux, go do is select now T2 micro and here instance detail. This is, I'm not bothered. Now add a storage, right? So here, if you see here, suppose I am creating a Windows system. Let's go back previous. Instead of Linux, I want to create a Windows now. This is, you see, Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base. And I want to say it's free tier eligible. So select it. I want to continue with this AMI, okay. Next. And T2 micro. And add a storage here, right? This will be a Windows system. And you see minimum it has taken 30 gig. Previously Linux, it was taking 8 gig. Now it is taking 30 gig because it's Windows system. So that's why Windows are always expensive. Windows systems are expensive on the cloud than Linux because they take higher resources. So can you tell me this 30 gig, where it will go? Because we are familiar with Windows, that's why I'm asking. This root, it's here called root, but it's a Windows system. It will be. So where this 30 gig, what is actually it is C drive. Just to answer the question also. 30 gig will be the C drive. Okay, and you see here the volume type it's showing here. General purpose SSD. What is SSD?
Solid state drive.
Solid state drive. Okay, so there is no rotating disk. It's not hard disk. It is a solid state. There is no rotation, though there is no mechanical parts in that, which is the latest innovation in the storage technology. SSDs, right? And they're very fast. You see here the IOPS. It can burst up to 3,000 IOPS. Normally they are termed as IOPS, input output
and
systems.
Per second.
Per second, yes. So, and provision types. So there are two types of IOPS. One is general purpose and another is provision IOPS. There are two types of storage in this general purpose SD. Here, if you just click, you see here general purpose, provisioned and magnetic. Magnetic is here the normal hard disk actually. Okay. So here, if you go back and you can select actually magnetic, then your cost will go down, but your system will be slow. And here provisioned IOPS is actually your system will be more faster because it's already provisioned. More, it is generally IOPS will be more in the provisioned IOPS than the general purpose SSD. So let's put general purpose SSD. Okay. So here, go back to my elastic block storage. This is nothing but the EBS volume, which I was talking about. This volume type is actually, you see here, it is written EBS volume types, right? You just click here, it will go to what EBS volume is. You see here, it will give all the details type of solid state drive is general purpose, provisioned IOPS, and when it goes to other types of IOPS, here there is another provision, general volumes. Also, if you see here, SSD and magnetic, you can also find provisioned IOPS called SSDs. You see SDDs, hard disk drives, right? So these are the cheaper, which is the old technology with a mechanical, drive is rotating. So that is, that's a bit slower, and that's why it is cheaper. Okay. So as we have already done it, let's do it. Let's see today also how to access the Windows. I have already done it. This is, I'm going to provision one Windows instance on general purpose SSD. Tag, you can tag it here, maybe name. And Windows. Security group. Here, if you see here, Windows normally does not run SSH, but they run a RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP protocol, okay? Or you can select the existing one. Existing we created last time, DemoSG, right? You see here HTTP and SSH in our, and also actually I already added as RDP session, and which is a port number is 3389. Okay. So by default, if you see here also, you're giving 3389, but I have created already demo SG and review and launch. Okay, we have not selected any security group. Select it and launch it. And launch. And here, acknowledge I think we have this one, and acknowledge and launch. Now, this we are launching a Windows instance. Last time we launched a Linux, but this time we are launching the Windows. View instance, and you can see here, this is started running, right? Now, how to access the Windows? Because it's an RDP. We have to access the Windows server through RDP session. I am sure you must have already worked with RDP in your office many times. But so now to access a Windows server, here, click it, and there is a button here they have already given, connect. So when you select, I'll repeat, whenever you just click on connect, it will ask you to download the remote desktop file, okay? And a standalone RDP client, so download it and save it maybe. So this is, you see, it will be your public IP .rdp. You can see it again here. What is your public IP? You see here 3.135.119. So here, when you connect, it is, in fact, the public IP is showing. Why it is showing 119? This is 3 dot, okay? This one is the IP, right? Same.
Same.
So download, and you see the 3.135 same name, and I'm saving it in this directory D big open cloud AWS, saving. And now open this file, and okay, now get the password. Obviously it does not take the, because we don't have, though we are running with public key, right? We have a key file here. If you see here, which we started running with the key file, right? I think we have it here, community learning, AWS, this one, right? The PEM file, we downloaded it last time, right?
Yep.
So this one, the PEM file is the key file, but there is, in Windows system, there is nothing called key file we have to give. We have to give the administrator and the password, right? Then how to generate a password from that key file, that we have to understand. So get a password, click, and now it is asking the key pair path. Now what you do is, it is asking this one, you see, key name is pnac-kp.pm. You have to upload it. Select it. Now, D and this one, right? You see here, it is uploaded with the content and decrypt the password. Click it here, and here is the password it is given now. Just copy it to the clipboard. Maybe you can copy some text file so that you don't forget it, and just close it. Okay. Now, here we have downloaded this file to, I think I have downloaded it to here, right? This is the RDP file. Just double click on this and it will ask you to connect. And now it is asking the password. Now, just copy this password, which we just decrypted, and just copy it and paste it here. Maybe remember me, you can put it so that it will start remembering you, and just click OK and just accept the certificate. Yes. And we are logged in almost to the Windows system, which is created on the cloud. It will take some time, because the Windows system takes, once you log in the first time, it will try to configure the user and the services. So it will take some time, but it will ultimately give the Windows server which you just created. You see it? This is the Windows server running on the cloud. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Panchalesha, this is like again free of cost, right? We can
yes, up to 30 gig. It is a free tier eligible. We saw it, right?
Okay, got it.
So here we saw it. When you go to EC2, and when you launch the instance, it should be sure that it is free tier eligible always when you create the instance. Otherwise, it won't be free. Okay. Here, what I did is I saw this one Windows, and it is written here free tier eligible.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. If you are running this one, you see here
SQL. Okay.
Then this is not. It will be charged to you. Okay. And this one is also free tier eligible. You see, these are all.
Okay.
So this is the Windows system we are running on the cloud. Okay. And you after that, you can do whatever you want, like if you are familiar with Windows servers. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And let me disconnect it and let me stop it too. If I am not doing anything, I'll just terminate the server, because it has taken all my 30 gig of free storage. I cannot obviously run any more server because all the 30 gig has been taken. So what I'll do is go to here, select it, actions, instance state, terminate. Yes, terminate. So it is terminated all the data. Oh, okay, sit man. Okay. The thing I wanted to show is gone. The C drive, 30 gig. Okay. So
but why you terminated? It cannot be stopped and used another instance
30 gig
if we want.
Still, if you stop, it is still taking the storage, right? Because
yeah.
If you stop your laptop, do you think your storage is erased? No.
No, no.
So here, if you stop it, if just simple just to stop, that means the storage is still not erased. It is still utilized for you. That means still you are acquired, 30 gig of storage allocated to you, and you are responsible for that. You will be charged, though it is free, but and because it is utilized for you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So once we terminate it, if we want to get it back, can we go to
no way.
No way.
Let's be very careful. Once you terminate it is gone. At no cost, you will get it back. Even if you call the customer service, they will not able to retrieve it. That's why terminating should be very, very careful.
But one quick question. So it is always advisable, like if we are not using that instance, we can just stop it. And when it is required, we can start it.
Yep, you can do that. But be assured that, first of all, be careful that all the storage cost will be assigned. You're still using the storage. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, if you are.
So how much storage is free? 30 GB
30
storage
gig.
is free for the account. Okay.
You can get it here. Like you want to know what is the AWS free tier eligibility, right? So here you can see all the details, whatever is free to you. Okay, free tier limits. How much free tier is? You can just go and check everything here.
Sure.
Okay.
Your storage, how to track and how much is free. Okay, as far as my knowledge is concerned, 30 gig of storage is free. Okay.
So, Panch, that Windows instance got shut down. Now I'm not able to connect. How could we start it again?
It is terminated or it is stopped?
No, accidentally I did the shutdown from the Windows, not from AWS.
So, okay, fine. So what it is showing now, it must be showing stopped. Refresh it. Just refresh it here. If you are not seeing it, it will be stopped here.
Oh yeah, you are right.
Then go to click it here and action, instant state, start.
Okay, I think that is disabled. I don't have any option to start.
Wait for some time.
Hold on.
Wait for some time because how they communicate is because there is an agent always runs inside the Windows system which communicates to the cloud and it tells what the state of the machine is. So here, once it recognizes properly that yes, the agent is not running and it's stopped, you will be able to start it.
Yeah, I'm able to do that. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So this is we now learned. So okay, now which I was talking about the 30 gig of storage, right? So that is nothing but the elastic block storage actually. Okay. So now let's do the same thing now. I want to launch another because all the 30 gig is I could not show because that's the max we can use in the free tier. I want to do is I'll put a Linux machine again with less number of storage. You see here, T2 micro and one instance add storage 8 gig. Okay, so you see here 8 gig, one data. I want to add another volume here. Another 8 gig so that I want to have, you see here, EBS, right?
Yeah.
EBS volume, and that is dev/dev SDB. Normally in Linux system, they are all SDA or SDB or SDC. If you see add another volume, it will be SDC and so on and so forth. Okay. Now 24 gig of storage, I'll show you, I'm utilizing 24 gig of storage. And preview, okay, here, delete and termination. Okay, here you just remember one thing, delete and termination. That means you see here, only one is clicked. That means if you terminate, only this root drive will be deleted, whereas these two will be not deleted. That means what is the usage of this is, if you want to have some storage and you want to save those volumes, okay, let's see one example. Okay, I want to have only one. Okay, add tags. I'll show a quick example, maybe name. I can tag it as, what is the usage of this tagging is, if you have n number of instances running, you can search using your tags. This is just naming, okay? AWS Windows or AWS Linux. Security group, and I select my normal same security group, demo SG and launch. And learn the system with my key pair, which is my own learn the system. Now, T2 micro, it's pending. Okay, let's go back. Let it run. I want to introduce you to another tool. All of you, it is a good tool. I found it. Here, this one I'm using. If you see here, are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
This is called a MOBA term, which multiple VMs you can run, or it's better than Putty. In a way that why it is better is you can have multiple servers you can connect at a time from one window, one console. You don't have to go and use multiple times doing the Putty and all. And one more good thing about it is it understands directly the PEM file. It does not need a PPK file. Okay. So you don't.
Can we use this for Windows and Linux both, or only for Linux?
I believe we can. I have not tried for Windows, but I'll let you know next time whether we can. RDP, I believe we can. Let's see. Use Json. Yes, we can use here RDP. Okay.
Yeah, great.
So we can use for Windows as well. So let's use this tool. Last time I introduced Putty. This time I'm introduce this to MOBA Xterm. You just browse it, no? It will be pretty much useful to you. If you see this, I'll maybe on the chart I'll paste it. I don't know if I can able to do that. I don't know why it is showing the chat window is find, but it is showing find participant here. Do you see my screen? Anybody can help me, like how to get the chat window if you are good at chat. Here it's chat. Okay. So here you can download it.
So Panch, I just saw two of the versions. MOBA Xterm Home Edition is there, and
download and
Installer Edition.
The free one, Home Edition.
Yeah, in the free one itself, we have like two of the versions. One is a portable edition and installer.
Home edition, you know, installer is, you can write installer edition maybe. It doesn't matter. Put the installer edition so you can click. Okay.
Got it.
Just download this and maybe let's see what it is, a zip file. Just unzip it. There will be exe file and you can install it, by the way. So let's see how to work in this tool. Okay. Now we got our, let's go back to the instance. It is running now, and we know the public IP is this one. Now I open the MOBA Xterm and user sessions, new session, and SSH, and I just copy it here. Username is specify username and EC2 user, EC2 user. Now advanced SSH setting here, and we have a private key here. Use private key and just click here, and we know that this is the PEM file, right? Yeah. See, I'm not PPK. I'm not. Don't bother about PPK and all. Open, and just click OK, and that's all. I'm sure. You see, directly I'm able to log into my. There's no Putty and conversion of PPK and nothing. So this is particularly, I believe it should be useful to you all.
Yeah.
Right. So, ls, there is a command, ls blk, block drive, list block drive. If you see here, xvda, if you see here, and vdb, vda and vdb, which are both, you see here, 8 gig, and this is the root, 8 gig and 8 gig, right? Which we did that previously. If you see here, T2 micro, right?
10 minutes.
Instances, and this is the instance. And if you see here, volumes, root device is xvda and block device is xsdb, right? These are the two. So it's having 8 gig. So what I do is, let's go to, and it is not mounted. xvdb is not mounted, right? So this is a bit Linux. I don't know if I want to make confused to you because you are not Linux people. So how many of you called like mkfs, this file? Do you know anything? Anybody? This command?
Not really.
Okay, so I don't want to confuse you then. This is a command called making the file system, because this, though there is a, you see mount point is root, though this drive we have created, this is like your Windows system, like you have just pushed a hard disk, but you have not formatted it, right? Do you think it will work? It won't, right? You have just connected the hard disk, but you have not formatted it. So that means it won't work. Windows system will not recognize. So these are the command. mkfs is make file system. Okay, mkfs. If you write mkfs dot xf and make xfs /diff, and you give this /diff xvdb sudo. Okay. So
what does this command do, Punch?
This is making a file system. So I formatted it actually. Okay. Now, mount. Now actually I mounted this file. Let's just, what I'm trying to do is I am going to /mnt and I'll just write vi test.txt. This is a file to be retained. You see here now ls, right? So it is, you see that what I did is I created a file system. You need not worry about it. Okay, just I understand the concept. Don't worry about the commands and all. It is complicated and I don't want you should go in that. What I did is I had one disk, simple a hard disk of 8 gig, and I formatted it with XFS file system, and I mounted that into /mnt, and in that I created a test file called test.txt, and I have some content in it. Okay, or it's a cat test. So you see that this is a file to be returned. It is there. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I exit and cd and sudo umount unmounted it. Okay. And exit. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to terminate this whole system. Okay. Now I have this system. Let me terminate it. And you see that I previously what it was selected is the second drive is not going to terminate after the main system is terminated. So it is instance state terminate. Yes. Okay. You see here, delete the EBS volumes. EBS volume which do not have delete on termination set, it will not be terminated. So our second drive is actually set to set, it was not set rather, delete on termination. So I'm sure that's not going to be terminated. I'm terminating this. So now if you see here, Elastic Blob Store, let's see the volumes, which are all retained. You see here, still it is in use. Okay, this is terminated, right? And volumes. Okay, previously there was another also available, possibly it was not deleted, but AWS Linux, which I just created, this is my previous volume, so don't worry about it, okay? This one particularly, you see, I just typed, right, when I was creating AWS Linux. So it was the volume, which was here. Now, you see my instance is gone. I am no way going to retrieve it. Now let me create a new instance and attach that to this, okay? Select instance, add a storage, and here EBS, the existing storage. Okay, so I can do actually a snapshot of it. Let's create a snapshot. Just 1 minute. Volumes. It's creating a snapshot. I'll tell what the snapshot is. Which one was we just created? Copy this. Let's see whether that is created or not first. Snapshot one. I'm going to store it first.
Can you type me now, please? I have that in mind.
Okay, so 1 minute. I don't know why it is not giving me that option to add. Actually, we can add it, the existing volume. We can add it, and I'll see that there is something I need to do. So let's do that later, maybe maybe next time. I'll see why it is not showing it. Okay, so maybe that. So it should be we can attach those volumes to the new volume actually. Okay, so here. Status check. This is enabled. Okay, this is not. So we have created, actually, I can take the snapshot and I can recreate a volume out of that snapshot. And I'll see that the file which I created is actually available to this Linux system. Okay, so this, I don't want to spend time more on this debugging why it's not doing, but maybe I'll try next time beforehand, and so that it is working properly, right? And then next time we'll show that. So it is now 8:53, almost 9. Oh, somewhere I didn't see the time. So that's about it today.
I have only one question, like what's the fundamental difference between a storage and a volume?
Okay, S3 is a storage. It cannot be used as a drive because it is not fast enough to give the IO performance which needs a volume which is giving, because obviously directly we are using those as the storage, right? So we are writing and reading data to it. In fact, there is a way to do it. Okay, there is a way we can actually format S3 and attach even if as a drive also. Okay, some amount we can actually put into that requires a bit different way to do it. There is no direct way, but if you want, so there are different kind of storage defined for different requirement. So not necessary those are anyway physical storage, right? But not necessarily you should utilize for every purpose. So EBS volumes normally they are taken as the hard disks for the operating system, so that they give the IO performance which is required for the operating system, and we can store data and so on and so forth. But if you want to have a shared storage, we can actually use EFS, Elastic File System, kind of. There is an EFS, AWS EFS also. So maybe my intention was to show the EFS next time in the next class. So maybe we'll talk more about the EBS volume snapshots and reattaching those snapshots into the volumes and EFS next time. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So anything else? Thank you very much. It's almost 8:55, so almost 2 hours. Sorry again. It is again we overtimed. I didn't see the while talking. Actually, I don't see the time always. I think you all are. You have maybe your own prior engagements. But anyway, so 7 to 8:30. But now it's almost half an hour extra, almost 25 minutes extra. Sorry about it, and
It's all right.
Yep, we'll see that next time.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Panch.
Thank
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Bye.
Hi, Panch. This is Sunita here.
Yep.
I have a question here. The way we are creating instance, can we do it through scripts and all, or is it always manual?
No, of course. That's why I said CLI is utilized mainly for scripting. Okay.
Okay.
So that is in the industry, mostly it is used scripting. Nobody goes and do click, click, click.
Okay. So through the Terraform scripts, we'll be able to create the instances.
Yes, we can. So that is ultimately maybe one class I'll spend on Terraform, writing Terraform scripts, and how can we create. That's what is called infrastructure as code. That means you are writing. So nowadays developers are writing code to create infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what it's called infrastructure as code.
Okay. And one more question, the storage, what we are doing, the file storage, is there should be any format?
Because many people have dropped, so can we do it later next time?
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So I want everybody should hear the answers.
Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you.